I've just found the Christmas decorations that I bought at the German Christmas market a couple of years ago. They're absolutely stunning. I'm going to post photos of them. The 24 karat gold. And they were really extravagant, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to get those out year on year on year on year. So yeah. And then so we went to Frankfurt. That's where we went to the German Christmas market a few years ago, and I got these little music boxes. How amazing are they? I've got yeah, so that was Ludwig van Beethoven, and then we've got Mozart. I love them. Oh, I love them. Right, I'm feeling very festive. I've got the final few presents. I did like panic shopping on Amazon last night. I love Amazon Prime. Everything's taken care of. So that means tomorrow I'll have a day of wrapping, watching Christmas movies, drinking mulled wine, eating mince pies, living my best life. Yeah, that's the mug that I got when I went. And then in the thumbnail, that's like a star light that I bought when I was there. There's loads of them on sale. I love the like Eastern European vibes and like Eastern, like the Far East vibes. I love it. Okay, so we've got the stained glass tarot deck. Hi, welcome into the chat. My name's Jenny, and this is Seven Chakras Tarot. Welcome in. So tonight we're going to be doing Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. Okay, because I do long readings. They're about 45 minutes upwards towards an hour, so I can't do the 12 signs in one go. I'd be here for 12 hours, so we're not doing that. Tried it a couple of times and my feet just filled up with blood. It's not good for my circulation to sit for that long, so I thought I'll do 3 signs each day, finishing with who will it be? Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces on Christmas Eve. Thanks for the likes and the loves. What sign are you? And where are you watching from? Basically, I do collective love readings by zodiac sign. So if you're looking for Aries, Taurus or Gemini, they were done yesterday. So you'll see those when you go to the live playlist. You'll see that one yesterday. And then tonight it's Cancer, Leo and Virgo. Spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Cancer's highest good. How is Cancer feeling in this final week of December 2025 with regards to one they're thinking about, dealing with or manifesting in? 3 cards for how Cancer's feeling, first of all, please. Why people cheat on me. Okay, so it's not about the kind of person that you are necessarily. It's probably due to circumstances in their life. Usually people who cheat are not happy where they are. Sometimes they do it because they need resources from multiple people, because they're not functional themselves. Sometimes they've got very low self-esteem, you know, and they would cheat on anybody. It's rarely to do with you. Now, that being said, if you don't have high boundaries, you can attract karmic lessons in the form of people. But I would never blame anyone for being cheated on, because it's nothing to do with it's nothing to do with you not being good enough or anything like this. You know, shame on them for conducting themselves like that. Six of Swords upright. Okay, so Cancer, this is you moving on. Okay, this is you moving on. The Six of Swords is about like thoughts, baggage, emotional baggage, leaving that in the past, okay? Climbing into a boat and just taking yourselves into the next chapter, leave everything else behind. So some sort of closure is taking place. Hi everyone, welcome in. King of Pentacles upright. Okay, so money's good for you right now. This is Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. The King of Pentacles is someone who's concerned with generosity. They got the bills paid, but they also like to have a nice home. They like to have nice clothes, nice things, and their love language is to gift, okay? A slightly masculine energy with it being a king. So when you're in your more masculine energy, you're concerned with what's right overall. When you're in a feminine energy, like the Queen of Pentacles, you're concerned with each individual person and how things will affect them individually, okay? So just slight differences, but basically a very generous, giving state of mind at the moment from you, Cancer. I mean, it is that time of year where we're giving to others, people that we know, giving to charity. The Ace of Cups reversed. Okay, so the Eight of Cups when it's upright is that could be when we fall in love with another person, or it could be self-love. When the Ace of Cups is reversed, to me, love has gone, okay? Love has gone from a relationship. And it's kind of recognition of that, you know, whether it's you that moved on or them that moved on. It happened, okay? So we recognise that the love is gone in this relationship that was. Now, you could have dependents, whether that's parents, children. You could have a high-powered job. You're sitting pretty with that King of Pentacles. You're a solid provider. I've just noticed I've got pen all over my hand because I was writing Christmas cards. Don't mind me. So it's not that you need anyone else, but obviously everyone wants to love someone and be in love, so. Who's your celebrity? I want to know who that is. If you want a personal reading, we can do that. It's £18. These are collective readings though, so anyone who's interested in like an individual reading that's just all about you, my email is in the channel description, or you can direct message on TikTok or Instagram. I don't interrupt the lives for individual cards or individual questions, anything like that. Ace of Swords upright with the Six of Pentacles upright. So this is their cards now. This is the one that you're thinking about, dealing with, or manifesting in. Now, the Ace of Swords is a major truth, a confession, clarity, and major revelation. Remember that swords are thoughts and communication. So someone could be confessing something to you. They could be having major clarity over something. Now, what it's to do with, because this is a combination, it's to do with the Six of Pentacles. Now, 6 is an even number. Pentacles are increments of time, money, and energy. Okay, so usually 3 pentacles would come from you and 3 pentacles would come from them. So the fact that they're thinking about this, it looks like they've had this major revelation, this realization that it takes 2, okay, to make this work, and it should be fair and it should be equal in terms of them giving time, money, and energy to this. So that's really positive. I've never had that combination before. How am I going to fit all my cards in and not start a fire? That would not be cool. Right, let's get another 2 cards. I don't take questions in lives, but if you want a question answered, I can do that. You just have to email me or direct message on TikTok or Instagram, but you need to pay. Don't have me working for free. 5 of Swords reversed. Or watch your sign or the sign of your person, and it should show the narrative of what's going on. It might answer your questions anyway in the collective readings. 5 of Swords reversed, right. So 5 of Swords, when it's upright, is arguments. It is, swords are communication. It's verbal disagreements, okay? Whether that be face-to-face or by text, it usually suggests a fallout. When it's reversed, this person does not want to argue. They're trying to avoid that situation. They don't want to argue, okay? So there could have been arguments, disagreements about how we're going to each put half in, whether that's time, money, energy, or all of these things. Okay, so I'll be doing Libra tomorrow and Sagittarius tomorrow as well. Yeah, tomorrow will be Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. Can't tell you what time because I just kind of work around my own energy levels and whatever comes up. Like, I had to take my nephew to the cinema, which is fine. Him and his friend went to watch SpongeBob SquarePants. But you can get to it when you can. I do the live and then I split up the lives into individual readings and repost them, so. The High Priestess upright, okay, so this is Piscean energy. It's the crown chakra, so your connection to the divine. Well, these are their cards, so their connection to the divine. Do you believe in fate? Do you believe in destiny? Do you have faith that everything will be all right? You know, it's as it says, priestess. It's all about trusting the universe, you know, believing in things happening for a reason, knowing that everything's going to work out, you know, that we're humans having a spiritual experience, or we're, you know, spiritual beings having a human experience. It's not all for nothing, okay? Everything is planned out. So in some ways it's very comforting because it's not like, oh, there's a right decision and a wrong decision. It's just that, you know, we're given various experiences to learn from, and people come into our life for a while or forever. It doesn't mean that because it didn't last forever that you have to undo it or wish it never happened or act like it never happened or forget about it. It's not that at all, okay? Everyone is coming across our path, crossing paths with us for a reason. Okay, let's get 3 for the outcome. So they're feeling good, they're feeling spiritual, they're feeling like, you know, there's a reason for all of this. They're trusting, okay? They're trusting in the divine plan. Let's get 3 for the outcome. The 2 of Swords. Now, this is when you're in a little bit of denial, the 2 of Swords. See how she's blindfolded? I love the colour of her hair on this, like tomato red, isn't it? Very Joan of Arc. Yeah, closed body language, legs together, hands together in front, eyes closed or blindfolded. Very shut down, like, I don't want to deal with this, not today. Okay, so we've got a combination. We've got the Queen of Pentacles, OMG. We've got a divine pair. We've got the King of Pentacles. On your side, you're the King of Pentacles, and we've got the Queen of Pentacles on their side. You literally suit one another. You know how in playing cards you have hearts, diamonds, spades, clubs. Okay, that's what you have with pentacles, wands, cups, and what else? Swords. Okay, so you are matching pairs of the same suit. You're made for one another. See, that tells me that you're soulmates. Now, whether that relationship is going to continue or whether it's done with, I don't know. At the moment, you're upright and they're reversed. It does feel like there was some sort of loss of love with that Ace of Cups reversed. Like, you feel like this love is lost. You've got the Six of Swords, which is moving on. They've got some sort of revelation and clarity, you know, about needing to put in their half, and being a team, being fair, being equal. They don't want to argue anymore. They've got faith that this is meant to be. Okay, so I think they're quite optimistic. What else have we got in this combination? So this is them, because that's you. So they have to be the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Page of Cups could be an apology. The Five of Wands could be mixed emotions or conflict with others. The Knight of Pentacles reversed is withdrawal of investment. Because when that's upright, that's like, I want to invest in you, I want to date you, and I want to, you know, date with a view to having a relationship, commitment. Wands is sexual, Cups is emotional, Pentacles is practical. You know, this is like, I want to build a future, I want assets together, I want everything, you know, full commitment. But it's reversed, and then we've got the Tower. Was that Tower upright? I think it was. Now, the Tower is Aries energy, it's fire energy. When a Tower happens, it could be you causing a Tower with them by breaking up with them. It could be them causing a Tower to you by breaking up with you, or pulling back, retreating, withdrawing from the relationship. Or it could be a Tower caused by someone who's interfering in this, or an event that interferes in it. You know, like lockdown interfered in a lot of relationships. Brexit interfered in a lot of relationships. You know, a Wall Street crash would cause interference in a lot of relationships. They're outside forces, you know, a flight being grounded or something like this. It's through no fault of our own. However, here, it seems like something was unfair. There's quarrelling, there's an apology. When they're the Queen of Pentacles reversed, they could be struggling financially, or they could be feeling less than generous. We've got that Knight of Pentacles reversed. I don't know, like, let's get one more and then we'll get a message from them. I want to push all this back a little bit, but I don't want things to go on fire. I just want you to be able to see all the cards. Let's overlap them a bit. We don't need any fires tonight. The Four of Cups. So that could be like sulking, you know, like ignoring a cup from someone else. If they're offering a cup, because that was their combination with them as the Queen of Pentacles, you could be rejecting their kind of advances towards you. You're not on the same page at all. And it looks like, you know, they're trying to get on the same page. But with the Tower, the landscape of your life is never going to be the same again. You know, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. If it's not being functioning well, to the point where there's been a bump in the road or a breakup, we do want change, okay? Change isn't comfortable, but usually we get into a better position afterwards, even if it doesn't feel like that when it's happening. I'm going to have to take my jumper off and say, well, right. Let's get a message from them. It doesn't look like they're dealing with anyone else, and it doesn't look like they're trying to deceive you, or, you know, it looks like, you know, they've realised that they weren't doing their bit before. Look, I'm sorry. I hate how much I've hurt you. I'm so sorry for all the pain I've caused. You didn't deserve any of it. Well, that's it. That is it, exactly. That's what the Page of Cups is. That's an apology. I don't think you want to hear it right now, to be honest, because we've got this closed off energy. Closed off energy. That's literally their cup sat there, and you're looking at the others like, just acting like, look, that person looks angry as well. Okay, let's get a message from them. I don't answer individual questions in the chat, Sanjay. It's collective love readings by zodiac sign. So if you watch your sign or the sign of your person, it may well answer any questions that you've got. Or if you want a question answered, you can book a private reading. My email address is in the channel description. It's jen3585@gmail.com. Or you can direct message on TikTok or Instagram. Turnaround time is 24 hours. I will probably be able to get it done the same day because I'm not working at the moment. So something that you won't get from the other channels that are bigger, and they will be a lot more expensive, up to 3 times more price-wise. So take advantage while it's a small channel. It'll be a pre-recorded reading on YouTube, and I'll send a link to it that only you can see. It stays up there. You can watch it as many times as you want to at your leisure. I am more emotional than I show. Were they acting like they weren't bothered? Were they acting closed off? Or they've not been communicative? So you didn't know how they were feeling? It forced you to kind of like give up? Because that's what this Ace of Cups reverse vibe is, like the emotions being poured out the cup, like, you know, onto the lawn, like, see you later. Like, get out. What is it that this person likes or loves, and I would say loves at this point, about Cancer? I like sleeping next to you. They feel calm, they feel like complete, they feel like they're in their little nest with you and it's the two of you together, you know, safe, secure. They want that feeling back. What's the nature of this connection, please? Be honest. Heart-to-heart conversations are necessary. It is safe for you to talk about your feelings. Yeah, that goes with the fact that they said I'm more emotional than what I show. Unbreakable love. This person has genuine love for you. You can overcome any issues that may arise. That's sweet. Be present. You will attract love by enjoying your life as it is. Wherever you are, be all there, okay? So don't be in a state of woe. You know, don't be in a state of moodiness, closed off, sulking, you know, getting angry. Don't do any of that, because that vibe is what goes out from your aura. You know, it sort of makes a dark energy around you. And we want, you know, not to feel like this, where it's like bitter and sulky, but we want to feel like this, whether we've got our person or not. Okay, and that attracts in love. So what is it that wasn't right in this? Hang on, let me get one more. What's the nature of this connection, please? I mean, it does say unbreakable love. Be honest, you know. They like sleeping next to you, or they love sleeping next to you. They haven't been showing their emotions. You know, they feel a lot more deeply for you than what they've allowed you to know. New love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. I mean, that's just confirming, you know, how much they love you. Could be quite a recent love. Could have felt like a bit of a whirlwind, or, you know, you've run before you can walk with it. Okay, so why were they not being honest about how deeply they feel for you? What is their issue? Is it to do with their past? Because this has done a lot of damage, you know, to your relationship with them. Closed off, there you go. Not emotionally available, distracted, hurt in the past. See, this is a form of self-preservation, protection. You know, they don't like to put themselves out there. They want guarantees, they want insurance, they want constant reassurance. They've had a major revelation about this that they've been holding back, and it isn't right. They've been playing this love down. Hi, I don't take questions in the chat. These are collective readings, so you just watch it to see if it resonates. But if you follow the narrative of your sign or the sign of your person, then it should resonate, and you should be able to get your questions answered by watching them, you know. Turbulence. Heal unresolved conflicts with kindness, not anger. Yeah, because we had the Five of Swords, so there could have been arguments when this person runs away or pulls back, or they don't communicate just how much they feel about you. They seem to be putting little effort in. If you think about gambling, they feel like the odds of this working out are pretty low, so they don't want to put all their money on it. But that's like their perception, because they've got some sort of trauma or bad experiences in the past, or they're just an insecure person, you know. And they don't have to be a complete basket case, but they could be quite insecure naturally. And so they're wanting you to put all your bets on, and then they'll just wait to see what comes in. But life isn't like that, because if you don't make the other person feel secure, they'll leave, right? So a delicate balance, strike a balance between freedom and commitment. Yeah, they can't act single if they're in love with you. That's wrong. Silent remnants. Amid the uncertainty, love has the power to rebuild trust. It does. It's giving that this isn't over and you can definitely work this out. There's so much emotion there between the two of you. It's not one-sided. It's looked one-sided. It seemed one-sided, but their heart is full. They wouldn't apologise if they didn't really care. It says unbreakable love. They wouldn't have all this revelation, you know, major truth, major confession, major revelation over putting in 50-50. Don't want to hear it. That is literally this vibe. Like, they wouldn't listen before. They would not accept that you know, that the way they were behaving was toxic before, but they get it now. You know, you may have had like a really healthy approach and you could have tried to, like, you know, broach the subject, and they're just like, no, I don't want to deal with this. So you're like, okay, well, I've got to move on then. Planning. Oh, they're going to reach out. Text, phone call, meeting up. Love affair, secrecy, third party, hooking up, STDs. What? What on earth? Is that resonating for anyone? Okay, so they could have treated you like an option when actually they've got all these like deep-seated emotions for you. So you probably like thought, well, I don't feel special, so I'm gonna, you know, call it a day. And you may not have had like, you know, a full exit because it just never felt like a fully committed relationship, but you just quietly got on, you know, and walked away, and they're like, what is happening here? It's forced them to really think, like, what is it going to be like without cancer? And they've realised that you are not an option, okay? You are the only option. Oh, look. I just want you to be happy even if it's not with me. Okay, so they've actually, like, got to the point where they have unconditional love for you. They don't blame you if you move on. And they wouldn't hold it against you. They actually just want you to be happy. When's this person going to reach out then? When's this person going to reach out to Cancer? Okay, so for some people, November. But it says distract yourself from the waiting game. You could be headed for a considerable time apart. I think this person's learning some important lessons in this period apart, you know. Let's get you some advice then. Because it's not easy being the one that has to be the grown-up and teach people the lessons that they need to learn. Because it requires you ignoring how you feel or honouring how you feel and walking away, doing the hard bit of walking away. You know, when they've actually hurt you. Growth. Yeah, exactly. Evolution starts when you leave your comfort zone. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Yeah, they need to learn their lesson, you know. If this person was being like a player and having people on rotation, or not letting you know that they actually like have feelings, They're afraid of that level of commitment, and if you just go straight back to them, it's not really teaching them anything. They kind of need to grow up, to be honest. Hi, I don't take individual questions in the chat. These are collective readings. I don't interrupt the lives to answer anyone's questions or pick cards for anyone. I've never done that, and I won't be offering that. I do collective readings. So if you follow the narrative, the long-term narrative of your life by watching your sign, or your partner's life, or the person you're interested in, and watch their sign for several weeks, you'll know the answer to your questions. But if you do want an individual reading, you can book one. I can probably do it the same day at the moment because I'm not working. It's £18 and it's in the channel description, my email address, or you can direct message on TikTok or Instagram. Payment is by PayPal, or I can send you my bank details, and I will send you a link to your video, which will be on YouTube, but only you will be able to see it, okay? Peace. I am unwavering in the face of fear. I come to my senses and embrace challenge. I am determined to think with gentleness and calm. I find inner silence and become a manifestation of peace. So you can rest assured knowing that this is their journey, their evolution, and you are a part of that. You're an important part of it. This isn't a failure, the fact that you're not together at the moment or you've had to put your foot down. This is you growing because you're putting down firm boundaries, and that is forcing them to grow. Okay? So this is all for a reason. It is not an accident. This is meant to be happening exactly how it is, okay? Let's get some more cards. I'm going to have to stop those lights twinkling in the background because it's doing my head. Overstimulation. That's so weird. I've just found one of my nail stickers. They were on the back of these cards. That must have happened yesterday. I might just glue that on, actually. It might take a sec. Oh, I've never had this one before. True self. Discover and express your true self to return to inner authenticity. I feel like that's advice for them, you know, for the cross-watcher. Because they weren't being honest how they really feel. If you're lying to yourself, that's a lonely place to be, isn't it? How are you going to tell the truth to others if you can't be honest with yourself? Hi, Kajal. I don't take individual questions. These are collective readings. Hi, Danielle. Hi Jal Puran, Pura, Akash Ravina, Akash Ravinagade. I'm so sorry, I'm like absolutely like mispronouncing these. Anish Gupta, Saurav, Jariel, Roxanne, well, what zodiac sign are you? Because you watch your sign and that'll be your love message. Or you can buy an individual reading. Watch your sign and watch the sign of your person as well, the one that you're wondering about. Because I do very in-depth readings, so you will definitely get the idea of how they're feeling and why and what they would say to you. It'll be very clear. Wow, look at that image. Cosmic abundance. Abundance flows to you effortlessly. So open your hands to receive. Hi Blanca. Guerrero. Hi Tess. Galactic harmony. Manifestation flows when your mind and heart are in harmony. So the more you relax, the more you live in the present, okay, the easier this is going to flow. This person is crazy about you. They acted like they weren't, but they are, okay? They're not able to be honest with themselves. They're a bit of a wreck, but they are suffering for it now, and they're not going anywhere, okay? Sometimes people, evolve it. Well, everyone is evolving at different rates, and sometimes people don't get the lesson as quickly as you. Okay, so you gotta just let people learn their lessons at their own pace. You can't force people to evolve. That's their work that they need to do. It's their spiritual homework. Let's get a Yule celebration. Hi Gunjan. These aren't individual readings, okay? If you want one, you can book one. But I would watch the sign of you and the sign of your person if you're interested in love. If you want a general reading, you'll have to buy one. My email address is in the channel description, or you can direct message me on TikTok or Instagram, and it's £18. And I can do a general past, present, future and see what comes up, whether it's business, health, love. Hot beverage. Sip a warm drink by the fire. Let the heat warm your body and the moment bring comfort to your soul. I'll be doing Aquarius on Christmas Eve, because tonight I'm doing Cancer Leo Virgo. Tomorrow I'll do Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and then Christmas Eve will be Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces, okay? Because my readings are 45 minutes to an hour. I can't sit for 12 hours to do the 12 zodiac signs. That's crazy. But I'm not going to shorten my readings. I like long readings. Okay. So it could be, for some of you, it could be November next year when this person reaches out. Let them come to you, okay? Let them suffer. Let them have all these deep feelings and emotions and contemplate everything. Let them grow and evolve, yeah? Because if you go straight back to them, you'll get more of this going on. Okay, that was your reading. I hope you like it. Please give it a like, share, subscribe, follow, repost, support the channel. hype the channel. If you wish to donate, there's a link in the channel description. If you want to stand out in a live, you can do a super chat. Memberships will be starting in March time. I can't do it before then because I've got to wait for my tax number to come back from the US. And I'm not in the US, so it takes a lot longer. I'm in the UK. So, yeah, then I'll be able to get paid by Google, which means I'll be able to take payment, okay? So, like, subscriptions, memberships, maybe a shop. Remember, if you're a member, then you would get a monthly business, education and finance reading. You would get a monthly health reading from the Native American Indian medicine wheel. And you would get a How to Read Tarot series as well. And anything else I decide to throw in. But love readings, the collective ones, will always be free and they'll be weekly. Because we need weekly, don't we? We can't be waiting a month. Finance, I would give life, you know, a bit of a chance to happen before you get like another finance reading. Because that relies upon a lot of external realities. Okay, so we are going on to Leo. Too hot. Hi Frank. Hi Ganessa. I don't take individual questions in lives. If you want an individual reading, I can do one. But if you follow the long-term narrative of your sign, or the sign of your person, or both, it'll answer your questions for sure. I get sometimes people want to treat themselves to an individual reading and timings might be more accurate. Reasons for behaviour could be even more accurate, but honestly, like I'd watch collective readings on a regular basis to just see where someone's life is going and what they're feeling and why, because it changes weekly, you know, so you don't want to be just, it's not like one reading is going to give you the answer to like what's going to happen in the future, full stop. It's how's the person feeling this week, do you know what I mean? So you can't be throwing your money away like that. You need to watch the collective readings like regularly and just get the general vibe of like what's going on with someone and why they're doing what they're doing and whether their feelings are changing. I hope that makes sense. I don't know why collective readings resonate. I feel like each sign is going through certain life lessons on a similar time frame. That's the only thing I can say, really. It resonates and it's weird, but it does. If you want a business, education and finance reading, I can do one. It'll be £18. You can email me. The email's in the channel description, or you can direct message on TikTok or Instagram. But I'm not going to do any readings on here for anyone that's individual. I know some channels do that, but I don't. Okay, we've shuffled enough. Spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Leo's highest good. How is Leo feeling in this final week of December 2025 with regards to one they're thinking about, dealing with or manifesting in? 3 cards for how Leo's feeling first of all, please. Right, we've got the King of Wands in the challenge position. Now, you're the King of Wands. That's fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. When the King of Wands is upright, it's that solar plexus activated, assertive, confident, type A personality. You know, they know what they want, they create goals, and they go for it. Because why wouldn't they? They've got that unrelenting fire energy about them. Very charismatic, walk into a room, heads turn, because there's just a confidence there. When it's reversed, it's the opposite of that. So it's being insecure, passive, unconfident, you know, quiet, shrinking wallflower, you know, shrinking violet, unsure of themselves. You know, they might stay in the comfort zone. They could have a lack of libido. This is the challenge. It's in the challenge position. So you might be feeling a bit wobbly at the moment, Leo, because your normal position would be upright like this. Strong, confident, charismatic, good looking, very romantic, very loyal, but you know what you want and you're very determined, and usually you're not feeling like this, but it's sort of wavering at the moment. Something's throwing you right off. It could be this time of year, could be feeling a little bit emotional, or, you know, a little bit lost. You know, it's kind of that time of year, isn't it, where it gets to Christmas time and you could be without your family or your loved ones. You know, some people are really triggered by Christmas because they're not with the people that they love. Let me just plug my charger in, hang on. If you're Virgo rising and Cancer moon, I would watch the Cancer reading, which I've just finished. I don't know about rising signs. You can watch the Virgo one that I do after this, and it may well resonate. I would concentrate on my sun sign, though. I used to watch all my placements, and then it kind of just got a bit too much. I'm getting like very confused. So I would say watch your sign, and then if there's someone that you're wondering about, watch their sign as well. But I'd stick to the sun signs. Maybe watch the moon sign, okay? But also, Aries readings resonate with me because I'm a Taurus, but I am very close to the Aries season. I'm a cusper because I'm early on in Taurus season. A lot of Aries readings resonate, so you may want to watch signs that are neighbours with you in the zodiac order, neighbours with your sun sign. So, like, if it was late on in Taurus, I'd watch Gemini because I might be a Taurus Gemini cusper, if that makes sense. I personally don't bother with rising signs and all this. I did want to get a chart printed out with all my placements. I haven't got around to it yet. But I need to order some books to read over Christmas because I never have time off. I've actually got time off. I would like to read about all the different placements. Anyway, let's get back to it. You're welcome. So Leo's feeling a little bit out of sorts at the moment. The Five of Cups, Leo, you're like feeling really regretful and sad about someone. I knew you weren't feeling yourself. The Five of Cups is a card of grief. So we can grieve, we can grieve people who passed away, but it feels like someone's passed away when we're no longer allowed to talk to them. We're not supposed to look at their social media. We're not supposed to mention them anymore because we've, bored all our friends and family to death talking about how the breakup happened. It's a card of being sad, regretful, a card of loss. Who are you sad about, Leo? The Hanged Man. So you're trying to look at things from different perspectives at the moment. This is a very open-minded energy. So something's really giving you food for thought, and you're trying to look at things from all different angles and understand it better. Which is very unusual for fire signs to sit and do that. You're more like action orientated. You want to go, go, go. You don't tend to look back. It's all about what's ahead, goals, like laser focus on the future. You very rarely sit and kind of feel this kind of way. So whoever this is very important to you. Let's get 3 cards for them, whoever this is. The Nine of Cups. So this person's like feeling good on their own. They're probably a single person. They definitely don't have children, definitely not married. 9 is always like a single energy, single, happy, content. Okay? So this is a very happy person, someone who's very satisfied with their life. Whoops, where's that gone? The Five of Pentacles reversed. Interesting. So when this is upright, this is a state of lack. Like, I'm out in the cold here. I need refuge. I need salvation. I need the church to let me in and give me food and water and shelter from the cold, the snow. You give me clothing. This is when you have nothing. Okay? It's a sense of like, I don't have anything. It's very depressing. Like, sometimes it's literally, homelessness or joblessness or being, without money, without finances. But it can mean like, I'm not getting, in a love reading, I'm not getting attention from my person anymore. I feel lonely, I feel lost, or I'm not getting attention from anyone. It's a state of lack of abundance, and abundance comes from love or money. Okay, so when it's reversed, we're coming out from the cold. So I wonder if you're admiring someone that is realizing that they're good on their own, and they may be like recovering finances, recovering social life. Like, you may just be observing them and thinking they're doing really well at the moment, better than they've done in years. And it might be like really, it's definitely someone from the past, and you're kind of like, shit, did I miss that opportunity? Like, why did I overlook this before? Okay, they have, stop it, stop. Oh, we've got the King and the Queen of Wands. You are soulmates. You're matching suits. So you know how in a deck of playing cards, you have diamonds and clubs and spades and hearts. You have that in tarot. So you have wands, cups, swords and pentacles. Okay, so there's only one king of wands and only one queen of wands. You are a matching pair. In a 78 card tarot deck, you are the pair, you match. You both have this fire in you. You both have a confidence in you. You know, good looking, enter a room and turn heads, like create goals and go for them. Action orientated. So you're the king, you're in that masculine energy, but it's knocked you a little because you're in your feels now over this person from the past. Now, I can't remember if she was reversed or not. Does anyone know? Let me have a look at the others. Four of Swords reversed. Nine of Swords reversed. Seven of Cups reversed. Ace of Wands reversed. Justice reversed. The Hermit. I think she was reversed, you know. I don't know. I think she was reversed because I had to like turn it round to look at it. That's a lot of reversals. There's a restlessness with that Four of Swords reverse. Let's go through each one. Put her down for a minute. The Four of Swords is, you see how this person's slumped? They've been battling, they've been swinging that sword, holding up that shield, that armor's heavy, it's all too much, okay? So this is much needed respite now. Literally lying down to just relax, calm down, take a breather, recover. When someone doesn't want to do that, they're restless, okay? Like they don't want to stop. There's something that they need to get off their chest, something they need to do. Nine of Swords reverse. Let's go through this one. The Nine of Swords upright is when you're anxious late at night and you can't sleep and you're ruminating on something, you're going over it and over it in your head. Anxiety, fear, sadness. 9 is near the end of a cycle. 10 will be the end of a cycle. So this has been going on for a while. However, when you turn it round, you choose to get over it and you choose to stop worrying about it. You drop the burdens, okay? Seven of Cups reversed. So the Seven of Cups upright is when we're at a crossroads in our life. And, you know, you could be an artist stood in front of a blank canvas, literally contemplating and deciding, what do I want to paint for myself? What kind of future do I want? Where am I going next? Okay, that's what all the cups are about, because there's a lot of emotion involved in that. And you're trying to think about what it is that you want. You're at a crossroads in your life. Sometimes we have the Seven of Cups while we're still in a relationship and we're thinking about leaving it. Okay, that often comes out in my spreads when it's someone considering leaving a situation. But it can just be when we're single and we're thinking, what do I want next? Now, the Seven of Cups, when it's reversed, we're not just daydreaming anymore. We're doing this so much that it's turned into delusion. You know, it's like, well, I'm more comfortable thinking about and imagining a future reality rather than my actual reality. So I'm gonna sit and daydream and fantasize for hours on end because that's better than where I am right now. Ace of Wands reversed. So the opposite of this would be extreme passion, desire, motivation, a new start, a do-over. You know, this is like lackluster, depressed, lack of libido, sad. You know, not sure what's next. The Justice reversed. Why has this happened? This isn't right. This isn't fair. This is wrong. This was unfair. This was unjust. Okay? So it's the major arcana for Libra, the sword of justice. Okay? So the truth, what's right, what's fair, what's equal, what's legal. That's reversed. So this feels wrong. This feels really wrong. All of this stuff that's happened. There's a restless energy. There's a fantasizing about the future. And then we've got the Hermit, which is the major for Virgo. Now, in the story of the major arcana, the Fool realizes that he must walk this part of the journey alone because the answers lie within him. He cannot ask other people what his part was. He knows that. He can't ask other people what the other person's part was, okay? Because the two people that know what happens in a relationship are the two people that were in it, okay? He can't ask other people what he wants next, okay? He has to decide that. What do I want next for myself? So there's a lot of introspection. You know, people isolate themselves from love. They don't date. They don't go back to the ex. They sit and they think about it. And they really soul search. What do I want next? What happened? What was my part? What was their part? What do I want going forwards? And who do I want going forwards? This has to be done solo. So we tend to do that for 6 months after a breakup. But it could have been a long time since you split up because this is someone from the past. Okay, but they're really going over things. Now, I know it's them that's doing that because in their combination was the Queen of Wands and you're the King of Wands. So they're thinking about the past. They're thinking about how it's not right that you're not together. It's making them sad. It's making them restless. They're spending a lot of time fantasizing about the future and possibly how to make this right. Oh, it's quite exciting, isn't it? Have I stolen a card from here? Or was that all them for there? Oh, I don't know what I've done. Were they all their cards? It wasn't the outcome. Perhaps that was all their cards on their side. This is why I should give myself more space. But, you know, it's all about the setup because, you know, I'm a Taurus, so things have to look good. The Six of Wands reverse. So in the outcome, when the Six of Wands is upright, this is like, I'm getting noticed by my person. I feel good. I feel successful. I feel victorious. I feel attractive. I feel like my person that I want attention from is noticing me. They're showering me with attention. That's reverse. So someone feels like wallpaper at the moment. They don't feel like they're getting any attention. Or they feel like this was a flop. This was a failure. And they don't know whether they can make it work. They'd like to. They feel like this was a loss, you know. I don't know if it's you or them. I mean, it's likely to be you because you're the one that's grieving. However, we can't have the same card twice. There's only one of everything in a 78 card tarot deck. They have got the Five of Pentacles reversed. So although they're happy on their own, they do seem to be going over the past and thinking about what they want for the future. And you could be part of that. Two of Swords. I don't want to deal with this right now. Blindfolded, closed off body language. Not today, thank you. Let's get a final one. Whoops, the Temperance. Major Arcana for Sagittarius. This is all about managing your emotions, staying calm. You know, the archer needs to aim and shoot. They're a fire sign, they go for what they want, they create goals, and they go for them. They can't do that if their emotions are all out of whack. They've got to steady their nerves, they've got to be calm, they need to be able to focus, okay, poise themselves. In this depiction, she's trying to get just the right balance. She's pouring from one cup into the other and back again, and trying to get that water nice and still, nice and even. Okay, so it's about finding balance with your own emotions. Interesting. It's all kind of like, it's like a pan that's coming to the boil, isn't it? Let's get a message from them. So these are no contact cards. So this is what this person would say to you if they're not communicating all of this. I'm sorry. I've literally just had a conversation with a Leo the day before yesterday about all of this. Okay, so this resonates with me, with someone that's not on my mind most of the time. And then I posted a photo of myself, you know, the one from a Christmas work night out, and he liked it. The Leo's always watching, he's always laying in wait. Doesn't matter how long it's been. But he gave me a like, and then we started chatting. And we literally had this conversation because we've got a lot of history. And he told me that he's moving to the States, and I started crying. And I didn't think I was going to react like that at all. But we were just like each other's go-to person for years and years and years. It's like 16 years now. But at one point or another, each of us wanted a relationship when the other one didn't. And we've never quite got there. We talked about the future. But it's like a fantasy, because how would I even get to him in the States? Do you know what I mean? And I was like, I'll have to get rich off YouTube and like send for you in a private jet. So we basically said that we've had like a whole trilogy, but maybe there'll be a book 4 and a book 5, and we've left it open because I think that's the only way we could like handle it, you know. It's resonating for me. So definitely watch the sign of your person, the one that you're wondering about. What does this person like or love about Leo? Your beauty is so captivating that I forget to blink. Ooh, Leo. Okay, so whether you're a man or a woman, they think you're drop dead gorgeous. They think you're stunning. You know? A perfect specimen. Resonates. Hashtag resonates. Let's get a message from them. I am in a dark place, Spirit is sending me light. So, yeah, so you know I mentioned that I was crying. It was almost like an exorcism. Because I think I didn't realise that. I think he was always a bit of a player, to be honest. And the timing was just never right, and I never really trusted him. And at some point or another, we've literally broken each other's heart, and I never realised how much it was weird. Like, it said something in particular. And I've kind of always been someone that thinks a lot, but I don't necessarily say stuff. And then I said it, and I just realised it was like major revelation that actually I've seriously broken this guy's heart, you know. So I did cry my eyes out, I did. Well, I think he's matured over the years as well, because he never was that mature, and then like in recent years, he's like been there for me, talking to me like this time of year and like just being there for me and stuff. And there was nothing sexual involved, nothing like that at all. And he's become like a really good friend and a good companion. So, you know, things evolve over like decades. I think people grow, people change. What's the nature of this connection, please? I've grown and I've changed as well, like, definitely. I think if you haven't evolved over decades, that's a bit weird. Surely everyone has. Be optimistic. Keep in mind that you create your reality. You can't attract love with a negative mindset. Okay, so you need to be optimistic when it comes to this, Leo. All is not lost. There's potential. Book 4, book 5. Religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Ew. I mean, people say, oh, maybe you're from different religious backgrounds. Maybe you're from the same. Maybe you believe in a different deity. Maybe, you know, like in Hinduism, like your family, like believes in different gods. They focus on a different god, or like maybe someone's from a different like part of a caste system, so you're not supposed to like get with them and you're not supposed to be together. Maybe one of you's religious and the other isn't. Maybe one of you's becoming religious and never was. There's so many things that could mean, you know. Maybe I'll tell you about this one that relates to me. He doesn't want to ever get married again. He was married very young, you know, doesn't want to marry ever again. Maybe thinks I want a traditional relationship, and for years I did, for decades I did. You know, so where something may not be possible, it could become possible. And I don't mean that you give up what you want for someone to be with them. That's not the case. If you genuinely, what you want or what you believe is important changes, if your values change as an individual, nothing to do with them, and then suddenly like something actually is on the table where it wasn't decades ago. Do you know what I'm saying? You're not doing it because you can't live without them and you're just being weak and really you do want to be married. Maybe it's that like that isn't important to you anymore. Or maybe they decide like maybe I would get married again for this person because decades later I realise they are so important to me. Maybe I do believe in love. Maybe I do believe in conventional relationships again, you know, after being a player for decades. I don't know, okay, it's your situation. I'm just giving you examples based off my experience, which is what I do on here. Let's see, why didn't it work out then, initially? Let's do a dig. Controlling. Needs to be right all the time. Possessive, jealous lover. Okay, so they could view you as controlling, Leo, or you could view them as controlling. Someone that always has to be right, or you could have dealt with, you know, very kind of dominating partners previously and thought, I don't need this. I don't want to be, you know, trained by anyone, by a lion tamer. I don't need someone telling me like what the rules are and where the boundaries are. I don't need anyone doing that. Whoops. Now that came out sideways, so I'm going to read both. Tender bridges, building connections with empathy, gentleness and kindness. Devotion blooms, nurture both blossoms and thorns with tenderness. So it's asking for a softer approach, because in the past there wasn't one. things were too demanding, too controlling, too dominating. Everything was black and white, you know, this is it, all or nothing. When we deal with absolutes, we kind of screw ourselves right over, do you know what I mean? Because if there's something you really want and it's a non-negotiable, it's a non-negotiable, okay, that's how it was at that point in your life. You would treat yourself, okay, and you said no. But when we deal with absolutes, we tend to, you know, make things very dramatic and throw the gauntlet down, and it can only really go one way. I mean, that's part of not wasting each other's time as well, but tired of the drama. That's another thing, you know, as well, like his parents aren't together, they're divorced, so I don't know if that influences what he thinks about marriage. Inferno, chaos, job loss, everything crumbling. Okay, so money could have been a problem on your side or their side or both. You could have never really felt like you're in a position to create stability for one another. You know, sometimes both of you are insecure when it comes to creating a solid foundation. You're not sure whether you can, you know, stand up and be counted. Whether you're going to, like, you know, stand in front of another person's family and say, yes, I can do this. I don't know what you're typing or spamming, but it's in capitals, so it's very aggressive. So I'm just going to get rid of it. We don't need aggressive capitals on here. We don't need anyone calling this, you know, something that it isn't. This is very passive, calm space. This is for people who come together and try to reflect on what's happened and find a reason for it, find purpose moving forward, find clear direction moving forward. It's nothing awful. So get over yourself. Is the answer. Right. You want to bust a church doors open, or burst into a mosque, or burst into a temple? You can do it, but you'll be an asshole. So think about that. I pretend I don't care, but I see you in my dreams. This person spends a lot of time thinking about you, Leo. You think that they don't care. You think that they don't, like, spend time worrying about the past or worrying about you or daydreaming about you. They spend a lot of time thinking about you. They like to fantasize about you, but it's more than sexual. It's like a deep caring, you know, and actually, like, trying to consider, like, is this my person? Could this be my person? I'm not saying they don't think about other people, but they find you to be absolutely stunning. They are sorry for breaking your heart in the past, and they do think about the future. So the door's open. The door is open. Let's get you some advice. Love. Love people. Love them with all your heart. Just be sure to love yourself first. Oh, thank you, Mary. That's really kind. Thank you. You know what? I love these oracle messages because that It's making me think that, like, Leo's giving their heart away, you know, like, I know Leos and I know that they're fiercely loyal. Every lion wants their lioness, okay? Every lioness wants their lion. In this case, my person got married very young, 17. So they did believe in love, and they got that sense of loss early on, that love doesn't last forever early on, that you can't trust that things will last early on. And I know we all get that, but to have to deal with marriage and children early on, um, maybe this person's heart is very big and they just decided they're going to close themselves off and love isn't for them, for the rest of their life. That is someone who's very sensitive indeed. Not everyone's brave enough to put themselves back out there. Not everyone's, an optimist, like a hopeless romantic. Some people just close off their heart for good because they don't ever want to feel like that ever again. I feel like this could have happened. Yeah, your advice is like, whatever happens with this person, if you do end up being with them for a season, a reason or a lifetime, you gotta have love for yourself. Don't let this person take the piss. But you can forgive people as well, and you can. Sometimes you get like slow burners, When someone's very handsome or very beautiful, we tend to take them for granted, or we tend to like. When I say take them for granted, you can neglect like to take care of their feelings, and you can want to have sex with them, and you can want to like look at them, and you can want to be around them, when you don't want a relationship and you sleep with them anyway, or they've got feelings for you and you're not as bothered, and take advantage of them. And like, maybe I've done that, do you know what I mean? I think ego counts for a lot, and some people have been very hurt but don't actually express that and say, you hurt me, you took advantage of me, or treat me like I'm an option, or you beautiful me, or this or that. They don't say it, they just kind of pull back and accept that they've not been selected as like a lifelong partner. I think a lot of people, we all think that we want to be really good looking, but good looking people, if you speak to them, they actually get treated like rubbish. They get treated really bad. It's because of temptation, simple temptation. This lion's heart got broken. Um, and women do that as much as men do. Women see a gorgeous man, they see abs, they see, a square jaw, a shapely calf, whatever part of the male body. Yeah, and we can't contain ourselves. If you ever been to see Magic Mike, my God, women are terrifying, especially when they're a big group. You've got oh, it's dangerous. It's terrifying. Or loads of women on a night out at a restaurant, yeah, and there's like an attractive waiter. Or have you seen Real Housewives? When they hire like they hire like topless waiters and like quite young men, and the poor thing's getting hands all over them. Women are, we're very superficial, we're very much able to take advantage, and we do. It's human. Doesn't make it right. Action. My divine action incites love and harmony. I am aware of my thoughts and driven by positive forces. Oh, you've got a heart again. I listen to my heart. My desire to manifest light transforms tests into growth, challenge into opportunity, and fear into love. Don't keep yourself closed off from love again, Leo. You've kept yourself out of true love scenarios for too long. You're the king of the jungle. You're the head of the pride, you know. Be brave. That's a very, do you know what? This week the readings are very romantic. They're very emotional, like high emotion. Very much so. The Aries one, all the fire signs getting like really emotional, like gushy readings, and normally, or what sign are you, Mary? You Cancer. Oh, I've done Cancer. I did say rewind. I did Cancer. Just before Leo. So you need to go back about 45 minutes. Well, no, you need to go back an hour and 45 minutes. Just go back to the beginning of this live. It's there. It's done. You'll be able to go to bed. Sorry, I should have said. Well, I did say a lot of times it's Cancer, then Leo, then Virgo. So Cancer's done. Well, you can watch the collective reading, or you can book in with me for a personal reading. It's £18, and I'll do you an individual reading that's in depth like this. But I don't interrupt the live to answer questions. Right, let's finish Leo. Yeah, so Leo, if you're wondering about this person and if there could ever be like a relationship with them, like a proper full-blown relationship with them, the door's open, okay? Self-empowerment, look at that. Do you know what? That's one part of a man I really like. You know, like when they're driving and you look over. I don't know why I'm talking about this. Get myself right going now. But you know, when you see like this part, like the forearm, has got all like the veins in it and stuff. I don't know why I find that really attractive. It's just so like masculine. Okay. Self-empowerment. Empower yourself to ignite inner confidence and achieve your goals. Empowerment, confidence, strengths. Okay, so turn this, like transmute this like big heart of yours into excitement for the future, optimism for the future. Okay, believe in miracles. You just never know. The door's open, those embers are burning. Whether you're with this person or not, you need to get back to being fiery, creating goals, going for them, okay? Walking into a room, turning heads, because that's who you are. But I think this person is evolving, and I think they've learned, you know, their lessons, and I'm glad that they've apologised, because, you know, they probably saw that you were very handsome or very beautiful, and you know, could have really like taken advantage of that. Not that you didn't enjoy it. Sure, you enjoyed it, but we can all feel really hurt like that as well. men and women, you know, don't want to feel like they're just dropped like a hot rock. Or, oh great, so you fancy me, but I'm not good enough to be like a romantic partner of yours, like to tell family about me, to like step out with me, to, you know, build a life with me. I'm not good enough for that, cheers. You know what I mean? The moon's whisper. Listen to the quiet guidance within. The answers you seek are already with you. Okay, so that's about following your intuition. You may even have felt that this is the case with this person, that they must have some kind of feelings for you, to keep dealing with you, to, you know, to never get you out their system. It may mean a lot to you that this person has or will apologise. You know, perhaps you've been waiting a long time to hear those words, especially from them. Sometimes it's which person we want saying sorry to us, not just anyone, but that particular person saying sorry counts for a lot. Right, let's get you a Yule celebration. Whoops. Doing somersaults. No. What is happening? What's actually happening? I love tarot. I'm sorry, but I love tarot. You've got heart 3 times here. This is such a special time of year. Like, the readings have been so... It's always a bit like this, but they're so healing and romantic and like cathartic and emotional. Even for fire signs, like, especially for fire signs at the moment. What beautiful. This is this oracle deck. It's so pretty, of Timu. Winter heart. Find warmth in your heart this winter. Love, kindness and compassion are the true heat that sustains us. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. On that note, shall I get you a timing to see? I've already had my conversation with my Leo, but this is for you guys. So when are you going to have this conversation, if you haven't already, with your person? When is Leo going to have this conversation with this person? Okay, so in a couple of months from now, for some of you, October next year, or when you're truly ready for it, okay? This conversation needs to happen. If it hasn't already, it will be happening, okay? That is stunning, that. Absolutely stunning. You literally spend like hours and hours just thinking about you. Right, if you like this reading, please give it a like, share, subscribe, follow, repost, support the channel, hype the channel. If you want to donate, there's a link in the channel description. If you want to do a super chat, you can stand out in a live. What else? If you want a personal reading, it's £18. Obviously, the benefit of a personal reading is the timing will be like spot on. You know, the reasons for why they're being the way they're being, you know, could be spot on. You might get a tiny bit more accuracy, but I just appreciate any nice comments, any likes, any, you know, subscribes, support for the channel in any way possible. Sometimes, you know, money ebbs and flows. it comes and it goes. If you want a reading, get a reading. If you can't afford right now, or it's not something you feel is necessary, that's no problem. Memberships are starting next year around March time. There'll be monthly health readings, monthly wealth readings, and a how to read tarot series. I was saying around Christmas time, but I didn't realise how long it was going to take for the tax number to come back, because I'm outside the States. For Google to pay me, I've got to have a tax number created. And it takes 9 weeks to come back. So. But yeah, 2026 is going to be a good year for this channel. Yeah, if you do want a private reading, I've got testimonials on the community page. 100% success rate. I have loads of clients, have returning clients, really, really sweet ones. Men and women. You can direct message on TikTok or Instagram. Can't remember if I said that or not. Or if you prefer, you can email me. It's in the channel description. Once you've sent me payment, I'll send you a link to your pre-recorded video. It'll be on YouTube. Do you know what? I need to buy a reading for myself, actually. I'm gonna get one from who are my favourite readers. I usually get from Scales of Justice Tarot. Martin, his name is, because he's quite cheap. I don't spend stupid money on tarot readings, because it's only how someone's feeling this week. Do you know what I mean? But what if you just I want to get a vibe on what someone's thinking at the moment? It's quite good. I won't be paying stupid money for a reading, because it takes me a long time to earn that money. I'm not going to throw it away. I think that's why some people get complaints as well, because they charge high. Well, maybe it doesn't resonate so much with someone. They're going to want the money back, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? I've never had it not resonate with someone though. They've been like, oh my God, I'm blown away. Not to blow me in horn, just being honest. I've never had anyone say that doesn't resonate at all. Never had anyone say that. Right, what am I doing now? That was Leo. We're doing Virgo. All the Virgos are shut up. Get on with it. Turnaround time is same day at the moment, which you usually have to wait about a week with bigger channels, so take advantage. Hi Sadiqa, I don't take questions in chats. I do collective readings, and then you can book a reading if you want an individual reading. Game over. In what way? Okay, spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Virgo's highest good. How is Virgo feeling in this final week of December 2025? He is the King of Kings, yeah. The final week of 2025. How is Virgo feeling with regards to the one they're thinking about dealing with or manifesting in? 3 cards for how Virgo's feeling, please. So we've got the Page of Wands. Okay, so Virgo, you're quite excited, okay? You're quite excited. So a page is very optimistic. okay? Pages have no preconceived notions about how something's going to go. They have no pessimism. They just have this fire, this desire. They're excited, okay? Because they've never walked this path before. So that's how you're feeling at the moment. That's proper nice. I don't need anyone coming and preaching to me on my channel. This is a positive space, okay? I'm an omnist. I accept the presence of all religions. You should try to do the same. You know, that part of being a Christian is to be tolerant of others, to bring peace to all mankind. Yeah, peace and love to all mankind. Try and do that, please. Right, 5 of Swords upright with the King of Wands reversed. What is going on? Then we've got, in the challenge position, the Knight of Wands and the 4 of Swords. So if they were this way, that would be a restlessness and a desire to make spontaneous moves in the moment, move quickly, go towards what we want, what feels good right now. Okay, a restlessness, a spontaneity. If we turn them the other way, we desire rest, okay, because we've been too much spontaneous. We've been too frivolous. We've made mistakes. It's exhausting, okay? Time to take a breather. See, this is the challenge. Like, what do I do? Do I make a move? Or am I going to make a mistake? Am I going to tire myself out? Who's got you like this? Right, let's have a look. Also with that, but they seem to be like a separate combination. We've got the 5 of Swords upright, which is arguments, division. Okay, verbal disagreements. Then we've got the King of Wands reversed. Something's gone down here. With a new person, it's kind of fallen flat. You're feeling disempowered. You're feeling like you've lost the fire. Unconfident. Why? Because the King of Wands, when he's upright, is so confident. Solar plexus activated, like, you know, walks into a room, turns heads, type A personality, goal-orientated, action-orientated. But a king sits in their power, they're confident, okay? With that Knight of Wands, that's like a kind of sexy, passionate, full of desire. But then for the King of Wands to be reversed, it's like something's made you really insecure. The opposite of confident is insecure, passive. There's been arguments. So we were naive, now we're not. Okay, something's occurred. What's occurred? The Sun card. Well, the Sun card is being carefree. So you got over it quite quickly. Okay, so the Sun card, do you know what? There's so much fire here. You've got Page of Wands, Knight of Wands, King of Wands. You got the Sun. That's a lot of fire. That is a hell of a lot of fire. But the Sun card is, in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot deck, it's a naked baby riding a horse bareback, giggling with the sun shining behind it. Doesn't give, you know, it doesn't give one. It's laughing, it's carefree. It doesn't worry about the shape of its body, if its tummy is hanging down or sticking out. It doesn't worry about its thighs or like the baby doesn't worry about that, okay? They're not burdened with mortgages or rent or like anything like this, okay? Career aspirations, this and that. They're just chilled, they're just happy, you know, simple things. It's about being burden free. So I'm trying to think, was I wrong? But why is that Five of Swords there? And why is the King of Wands reversed? Well, you know why you feel the way that you feel. So let's get cards for them. I do think that you're currently dealing with someone, or were. The Six of Pentacles reversed, the Four of Cups reversed, the Devil reversed. See, the Six of Pentacles when it's upright. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Edel Nap. The Six of Pentacles when it's upright is 3 pentacles from you, 3 pentacles from them. Okay, so I'll be doing Scorpio tomorrow, just so you know. But if you want to watch the sign of your person, maybe one of those signs is being done. I'm doing 3 signs each day. So today it's Cancer, Leo and Virgo. Tomorrow, Libra, Scorpio and Sagittarius. And then on Christmas Eve, I'll do Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces. Just because my readings are like 45 minutes to an hour, I can't do 12 hours. I can't. My ankles fill up with blood. It's not good for me. Okay, so I'm doing 3 signs each day. Scorpio's tomorrow. But if there's someone that you're interested in knowing about, you could tell me what their sign is and I'll let you know when that's going to be. When the Six of Pentacles, it's increments of time, money and energy, but it's unfair. It's uneven. It's unequal. Okay, so someone's not been pulling their weight as far as this person's concerned. Were you the player? Were you the player, Virgo? 4 of Cups reversed. So 4 of Cups upright is like ignoring someone. So like say if someone offers you a cup like of emotion because they're apologising, but you just ignore it and you like look this way at what you're doing. What the heck was that? Okay, they're not ignoring anymore. So perhaps like they're over their sulking period. You know, they may have said what they think about you and told you some home truth and said you're just a player. You're not actually investing in me. The Devil, when it's upright, is the major arcana for Capricorn. The Devil is about being obsessive, being codependent, being addicted, having bad habits. Now, you can be a workaholic, you can be an alcoholic, you can be a sex addict, you can be someone that's just obsessively thinking about another person or unable to stay away from another person that isn't that good for you. When the Devil's reversed, you've kind of got free from the Devil. Okay, so this person feels like they got free from the Devil. Now, I'm not saying that you are the Devil, but perhaps they felt like you weren't really investing in them. You were just wanting to sleep with them. Now, that may be the case, it may not, but that's how they perceive things to be, okay? Because you have got very, like, excited, passionate energy here. Then you were like, I want to go towards this person. I'm very restless, like, and then the King of Wands is like a lack of kind of leadership, a lack of stability. It's this like back and forth energy rather than being fixed like a king and being still. You see that kings sit and that knights are galloping forwards and backwards, pages are walking. So this is very fast energy, frivolous energy, spontaneous energy. We haven't got fixed energy. So this person doesn't like that. They don't like it. And you're just like loving it. You're like not bothered. You're like, well, take me or leave me, but I'm not committing. That's the vibe that I'm getting, okay? Maybe you don't want anything serious, or you don't view this person as someone to settle with, or you don't believe in like cohabiting or marrying. The Tower reversed. Okay, so if they had the Tower upright, they would perceive like the landscape of their life changing. You know, maybe like a breakup or something. But when it's reversed, they're trying to stop that from happening. So I don't know if they're now trying to stop you from, you know, not dealing with them anymore, or I don't think you're in a relationship. It feels more like two separate energies, that you were like, maybe you were sleeping together or something, and it was just casual. But this person's like, they're either trying to stop themselves from getting hurt by getting free from the devil, or they're over their sulking phase and they just want to deal with you, whatever is on offer, they're willing to accept that. Let's see what else comes out. You know, if it can't be a relationship, fine. I just want to know what the situation is rather than like get hurt. It may be time for a chat. Yeah, so Ace of Wands, so they want a do-over. King of Pentacles reversed. They could be an earth sign, you know. They could be an earth sign because we've got Capricorn with the devil. They're going on about, well, not going on about, it's not very respectful, is it? They're focused on things being even in terms of time, money, and energy. Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, fairness. The King of Pentacles reverse is someone that they may be feeling like, look, I've put time, money, and energy into you, and I just feel like really not very generous at all now. You know, because this is a very generous sign. But being in a king energy, and you're in a king energy, you're both in a masculine energy. So this person feels emasculinated. They feel like they're not in control. They don't feel generous towards you. They're not going to gift you. They're not going to give you any more. Okay? Because if there were to be a rebirth, you would need to be more like the Queen of Pentacles. You would need to be down to earth, grounded, fixed. You would need to be able to pay half the bills. You would need to be able to, you know, make them feel secure, like they can lean on you. They don't feel like they can do that. You're rushing about. You're rushing about on horseback, you know, like doing what you like. This is their perspective, okay? From their perspective. You may at times feel like it's, you know, that's just too much commitment or it's going too fast, but they are someone that likes security, predictability, practical. They don't want you to stop seeing you, but they would need things to transmute and transform into something else. Or you're going to have a conversation, you know, where you kind of like make it clear like what's on the table and what isn't. Hi, Amira, or Amir. Sorry if I'm like splitting the names in the wrong place. Merry Christmas. Hi, Sankalp. Nine of Pentacles reversed. This person does not want to be single, okay? The Nine of Pentacles upright is I'm single and I have enough to pay my own way. They don't want to be single. They don't want to be single, okay? They might have enough money, but they don't want to be single. Maybe they don't have enough money, but they would have enough, you know, if they, like, put their finances together. And maybe you're like, whoa, I'm not thinking like that at all. Okay, I'm not trying to vilify you, but we can all be, like, on different wavelengths quite frequently. That can happen, where we're just not in that place right now, or we haven't got the capacity to do that. Or, you know, we don't want to do that with that person, but we would with someone else. Page of Pentacles. Look, they're determined. They're determined. They're like, I want my 10 of Pentacles. I want to put our lives together. You will marry me. You will, like, commit to me. You will, you know, have assets with me. Like, oh, good luck with your job application. Sanko, if you want a private business education or finance reading, I can do that. But I won't be doing that on here, on this live. These are like collective love readings. My email is in the channel description, or you can direct message on TikTok or Instagram, or another channel might be able to help you if you just want a question answered in the live. I didn't do that. 8 of Pentacles upright with the 8 of Swords reversed. Someone's getting out of their head and they want growth and expansion. This has to be an earth sign. It could well be a Capricorn. There could be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, but it's leaning towards Capricorn with that Devil card. They need practicality. You're a Virgo, okay? So it's very unusual for you to not have any Pentacles cards at all on your side. You're just bright and breezy. You're light. You're just like, I don't want to, like, maybe you're young, maybe, you know, you've just got out of something. Maybe you don't feel like you know this person well enough yet. Okay, it seems like a bit of a mismatch to me. I'd be interested to know, if you're Virgo and you're watching this, like, what your other placements are. Because you're so carefree right now. It's like very fiery energy. Emotional intimacy. So these are no contact cards. This is what this person would say to you. They look to be an earth sign or someone with heavy earth placements. I'm afraid to truly open up to you. Being raw and authentic with my emotions is something that I'm still working on. Okay, so maybe there's someone that shies away. Capricorns can be a bit like that. You know, they don't like to get too emotional. They like to just kind of get on with things more business-like, practical kind of way. You know, quite straight down the middle about stuff. They need things to be fair. Work is like a big focus for them. Let's get another message from them. We're on hold, but I'm coming back for you. I don't have the energy for this right now. Yeah, they don't want the tower. They don't want a big drama. They don't want a big breakup. They don't want to say no forever. But I think this person is like, I'm focusing on work and I can't be having all this instability and excitement going on. You know, this wishy-washy, like, I'm half in, I'm half out. You see this 8 of Pentacles is, that's a focus on growth and expansion. And it's a focus on, like, getting to the 9 of Pentacles. And we've got the 9 of Pentacles reversed, so it means we're not there yet. Okay, so this is a very serious person, someone with their head screwed on. They don't want to mess around. So whilst they do care about you, they may not feel comfortable opening up to you because they're busy, like, kind of getting themselves prepared for quite a serious commitment, whether it's with you or someone else. You know, I mean, like, in the future, I don't see them dealing with anyone else. What's the nature of this connection? Magnetic connection. There is a very strong pull and intensity that draws you to this person. Well, yeah, because it's all wands, which is really weird for a Virgo. You should be getting a lot of Pentacles cards. This person must be very sexy. They must be very, like, good looking. Very attractive male or female. Because you've gone a bit wild over them. You've turned into a right wild one, Virgo. Express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Yeah, where are the cups? There's no cups here. It's all pentacles and fire. We've got practicality and passion, but we haven't got any communication, and we haven't got much emotion in terms of, like, talking from the heart, expressing ourselves, having honest, real dialogue. It's interesting. Right, let's do a bit of digging. Why are they getting free from the devil? What was wrong? Brief affair. Brace for a sudden ending, short but sweet, can't last. Okay, so they feel like this was just like an affair for you. Controlling, needs to be right all the time, possessive, jealous lover. They want to lock it down. They don't want you running around footloose and fancy free. They don't like to share. They don't like the idea that, you know, they're emotionally getting involved with someone that doesn't want to invest in them. They don't operate like that at all. Liberated destiny. With release comes freedom, steering faith towards an unwritten future. Oh my God, a situation is about to explode. Things are about to pop off in flames. Running away. I told you this is a very serious person. You know, there's going to be arguments here because they're going to be angry that this isn't going, like, it's not following, like, the right protocol. It's not the right steps. It's not a traditional kind of courtship leading on to commitment. They don't like that. They could feel like it's a waste of their time, like it's distraction from their, like, you know, work goals. Hi, SB. Just seeing if I've done the broken mirror yet. This is a good deck, this oracle deck. Ooh, red flags, signs, cheating, deception. They might not trust you. They might just feel like, you know, you're a bit of a one, running around, getting up to all sorts with whoever. let's get the unspoken truth. If there's a next life, I'll tell you how I feel sooner. They've closed their heart off to this. You're heartbreaking today. Your husband's abusive. We need to get away. That's no good. You need to go to a friend's house or a safe house or ring a charity or something. You cannot be with someone who's abusive. Not at all. It never ends well, that, if you stay. There's not one single thing that anyone could ever do to deserve being abused. Not ever. And a badly behaved person is a badly behaved person, whether they're a person that's related to you, a person that you're married to, a person that you've grown up with, a total stranger. You never ever have done anything to deserve that. Not at all. It can never be justified. And if they've done it once, they'll do it again. Right, let's get advice for... Let's get advice for you, Virgo. This one. I tell you what, transmute your heartbreak into a practical plan. Make a plan for tonight. For the next 1 hour. Don't think about anything else. Intention number 1. What if the only resolution you made was to love yourself more? For emotional intimacy, magnetic connection, loving yourself more. Maybe there's a lesson to learn, Virgo, you know, like know your worth, and if you know that you don't really want to get involved with this person and they're quite a serious person, they want commitment, don't waste their time, you know, because that's not the right way to operate. You should always be honest with people. If it's nothing wrong with having a more casual relationship or encounter with someone if they know that's what it's going to be. Okay. But also, like, yeah, you don't have to be with it. Look, here we've got like a situation's about to explode, so don't let anyone like be angry at you or around you, try to intimidate you or control you. You know what you want for yourself, so perhaps making some distance from this person is, yeah, either be honest with them, like that you do have feelings for them and you do want to settle down with them, or you make a decision to create distance if they have a temper or this is going to trigger them, the fact that it's not going how they want it to, retreat. Like, don't kind of ignore it and act like it's fine when it's not. But your advice is to love yourself more, okay? Whatever way you want to take that. What is this person like or love? Because I didn't do this. What do they like or love about Virgo? I don't trust easily, but with you, I feel so safe and accepted. I find it strange that there isn't cups here. There isn't cups and there isn't swords. There isn't honest expression of feelings and emotions. There isn't communication of what we want, or the truth about like a situation. It seems to be something that's in its infancy and it is like headed for disaster unless you have some honest dialogue. Just looking at what cards I need next. Here and now, the future does not exist and the past is gone. I focus on the present moment. I have confidence in life again. Because here now, there is no danger. Everything happens when my soul is ready. Creative expression. Express your creativity to showcase your unique ideas. Creativity, expression, inspiration. The sacred spiral. Your journey is unfolding. Stop, because that's... Your journey is unfolding perfectly. Trust the sacred flow of life. Look at that pattern. It's like the fog's clearing and you're moving forward, Virgo. You know. Your journey is unfolding perfectly. Trust the sacred flow of your life. Express your creativity to showcase your unique ideas. There may be more in this life for you than what you've explored so far. You know, like if you've been a bit surface level, or if you've been in that mode recently or for a while, if you're stuck in a rut of just dealing with players, then it may be time to start a side hustle or a creative venture or relocate or have some sort of life over or do-over. You know, don't let someone, maybe you feel impressed by this person who's very focused, very they feel like they might bring you kind of predictability, security, they might be good with resources and finances. No, I just feel like there's more to you than meets the eye, and perhaps you're a Virgo that hasn't, you know, discovered your true depths yet, your true independence. I don't know why it's coming through. Well, it's saying to love yourself, so maybe you're showing a lack of love for yourself. Because I don't like the way there's no cups. We've got red flags. I don't like the way there's controlling. There's no cups or swords, so there's not enough honest conversation. There's not enough expression of feelings. It's all very practical, which there's nothing wrong with practical, but by itself is a bit odd. It's a little bit odd, and they are saying that they struggle with emotional intimacy. Maybe you're trauma bonded, maybe you're just not, you know, proper soulmates, maybe you're not a good match. Bit of an interesting one, this one. Let's get you a Yule celebration. Look, in the outcome, it's single energy. 9 of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, that there's not a coming together. I've not got the Two of Cups. I've not got the Six of Cups. I've not got the Four of Wands. I've not got the Lovers. You know, I've not got... It's just not... It's not together. There's no sense of togetherness. It's two separate people. I don't have the energy for this right now. We're on hold, but I'm coming back for you. They're trying to build up, like, I strongly feel like they're trying to build up their own, like, security, but maybe they feel more comfortable being practical than being romantic or being truthful or being open, or, do you know what I mean? Vulnerable. And that's not really good. So your advice is to focus on the present, to love yourself, okay? To have more love for yourself, and your journey's unfolding. So I don't feel like this is like happily ever after. I feel like this is just the beginning for you in terms of your individual awakening, if that makes sense. I don't know if this is your person, guys, and I don't know if love is like to be your focus at the moment, because you might have issues with self-confidence, self-esteem, identity, you know, what you're good at, what is your passion. Not saying that's the case, but it could be. Ancestor message. Listen to the whispers of your ancestors. Their wisdom and guidance flow through you, strengthening your spirit. Yeah, so your ancestors are trying to tell you here, like, look, there's major red flags here. It might not just be them that's wrong. You might be gravitating towards someone for the wrong reasons, okay? Try and have an eat, pray, love year. Try and travel, try and broaden the mind, broaden your horizons, start new ventures, new projects, find what your hobbies are, get to know yourself better, have a relationship with yourself, yeah? Right. Jojo, you come in here very late. I'm about to go off now. I'm doing 3 signs each night. So I've done... Yesterday I did Aries, Taurus and Gemini, which I know you're a Gemini. So that'll be in the last live that I did on my lives playlist. I've done Cancer, Leo and Virgo tonight. Tomorrow I'll do Libra, Scorpio and Sagittarius. And then Christmas Eve I will do Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces. Okay. Well, if you like this reading, please give it a like. Share, subscribe, follow, repost, support the channel, hype the channel. If you wish to donate, there's a link in the channel description. Memberships, I'm hoping to start around March. I've got to get my tax number back from the US and it takes 9 weeks. So with all that being said, I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you what time I'm going to be on because I'm working around my energy levels and my other commitments with family and stuff that come up. So I'll see you when I see you. All right, have a good one. Have a good evening, guys. If you want a personal reading, it's £18. You can email me. It's in the channel description. Or you can direct message on TikTok or Instagram. Okay, have a good evening. Bye. Bye, Jojo.